digital marketing agency that really focuses on e-commerce, B2C, clients who service B2C, and more small to medium-sized businesses in the online space. We're starting to evolve more now into larger enterprise clients, but the majority of our business comes from small to medium-sized businesses. We originally started as an affiliate management company. I started the company in 2009, actually from scratch, when I was 6 months pregnant by myself. And my ultimate goal was to actually, at the time, take on a couple of clients and work part-time and raise my kids and be able to work from home so I could, yeah, right, have a couple clients. And I also, before I came into the digital marketing space about a decade ago, before that, I actually was a travel agent. And in the 13 months that I did that, I won 13 different awards for sales and customer service. And it was because I had an appreciation for people. I loved taking great care of the people who were around me. And one of the things that I got excited about, because the people who would come in to book their trips with us would get excited about, was booking all-inclusive packages to Mexico and to Cuba and all these different types of things. And I really came to understand that the reasoning behind it was that they wanted to go somewhere where they could be spoiled, have absolutely everything taken care of, have all of their needs addressed in one place, and just really have like a seamless sort of experience where they could just enjoy themselves. So I combined, when we launched all-inclusive marketing, combined the appreciation and love for travel and all-inclusive packages with my love and appreciation for digital marketing, and we became all-inclusive marketing, where people could get that same experience, but on a digital marketing front. So we became one of the first companies in the digital marketing space, specifically in the performance marketing space and the affiliate management side of things, to offer an all-inclusive experience where people could come and get expert level SEO, expert level design, expert level email marketing, expert level conversion optimization. And I would have, at the time, I was working with people on a project basis to sort of fill that need, but also they could come for an a la carte experience where if they just needed help with, say, affiliate recruitment alone, then they could get that from us. Or if they needed help with just sort of monitoring affiliate behavior, then we could do that just as it's in itself. So two ways that we very quickly differentiated ourselves in the marketplace was both in the all-inclusive side of things, where they could come and it was like a one-stop shop for everything you needed, but at an expert level and very high quality level of service. And that you could break down instead of saying, well, it's either this or that. We'll say, okay, well, what do you just need? What are your needs? And let's figure out a way to service your need and collaborate to become we can become an extension of your team. So so that was in 2009. And we really only started focusing on growing our business at the beginning of 2012. So internally, we kind of have a marker that says, okay, 2012, let's start focusing on growing the business. So really between 2012 and at the end of 2013, so less than 2 years, we've grown to 24 people. And we're now considered in the top 3% of performance marketing agencies in the world, according to some of the different main players in the space. They've sort of put us, on their partnership list of people that they recommend and people that they want to work with and people that they want to see their clients be successful with. So we're very grateful for that opportunity. And a lot of that did come from really building relationships along the way. So that's kind of who we are. Did that answer your question, Iman?
Cool. Yeah, and can you just explain a little bit about performance marketing? What is performance marketing and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So performance marketing is sort of the evolved version of affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is actually a very complicated industry. Some people say affiliate marketing are things like, I'm sorry, my website is allinclusivemarketing.com. So for those of you who are listening, yes, thank you, allinclusivemarketing.com. Or you can just do a search for Sarah Bundy. You'll find everything there. So affiliate marketing is basically an industry where there's a few different players, but you can have basically an online sales force that will promote your products and promote your service and promote your brand in exchange for a commission or some kind of flat payout if a particular action takes place. So our area of expertise happens to be in retail, in e-commerce, actual like consumer goods. So what does that mean? That means that, let's say our clients who are, I'll use Norton Antivirus as an example. Norton Antivirus is a client of ours. Norton wants to find new distribution channels for their products. They want to be able to find new customers to buy Norton Antivirus. So they will use a partnership program, such as an affiliate program, also known as a performance marketing program, to partner with people who want to talk about the service, talk about the product, talk about the benefits. They are brand advocates. They see the benefit of people using Norton Antivirus. And if those people happen to bring traffic that leads to a sale, then those people will earn a commission on that sale. So the affiliate marketing model just works as basically an online sales force that gets paid on a performance-based model. And that model can work for B2C, B2B, services, all kinds of different products. It's very robust. It's actually, I just came back from speaking at a show in London last week, and the latest stat that came out was that it's the affiliate marketing space in the UK alone, not Europe, but just the UK, is an £8 billion a year industry, and it's very close to that in dollars in the US as well. So it's an alive and well industry.
Okay. Okay, that's perfect. So, Sarah, as a person who started your business like alone on yourself, right, on your own, and then you had a different vision and different plan for your business, working out of home, just working with a couple of clients. What inspired you to go to the next level? What was the thing that you decided uh, to go and in 2012 suddenly start growing the company? What was your why?
Uh, what was my why? That's a great question. And actually, that's something I did want to talk about today, because I think that that's really made a huge difference into whether we were successful or not, was our purpose behind what we do. And there's so much purpose behind what we do. I think to have a really successful company, you have to have something that's so much greater than yourself. And I could go on for a really long time about that. I attribute a lot of the success that we have to the people that have helped us grow. They've sent us a lot of business. They've, made a lot of referrals. And it's really because of our passion behind trying to make the affiliate marketing industry better, and trying to contribute to the leadership and innovation in that space. And so where a lot of different industries, or even some other people in our industry, might look at competitors and say, it's me against them, we don't have that mentality. We have the mentality of a collaboration, of trying to create something that's better than what already exists. And that belief that we have is across the board, internally, externally, however way we can contribute to it with our client programs. What can we do to make better than it already exists at all times? And we happen to have a company motto, which is to dig at all times. And dig for us stands for to delight, to innovate, to grow, and to give back. And so that's a really big part of who we are. The leadership that we put forward into the industry, the expertise that we put forward into the industry, the collaboration, the teamwork, these are all things that are really important to us. And we don't see that it's us against them. We see, people where I actually will phone my competitors, quote unquote, phone my competitors, and I look at them like an extension to my team at times. I look at them as my respected colleagues, and rather than looking at who can get business out of the other person, we look at how can we both be successful. Or, for us, it's not win-win. For me, I actually don't believe in win-win. I believe in win-win-win. So it's a three-way street. You need to be successful for your clients, for your business, and for all of the partners that you've chosen to work with, or for the industry as a whole, which is much bigger than yourself. So I think we began to grow because we had that philosophy of, making the industry better. And, there's a whole education piece that we stood very strongly behind all the way, well, we still do. But it was very evident in 2012 when there was this really large sort of need and this big gap of people not really understanding how affiliate marketing worked and the benefits and the pros and cons and things that they should be aware of. And we did a lot of just free education pieces. I've done a ton of blogging. I speak at a ton of shows. I've done webinars and workshops. And I don't charge for that stuff because that's part of our give back, that's part of our grow philosophy, to be able to push this industry forward and just see everybody successful in it. So I think that's where we started to see people actually just paying attention. And it wasn't because we were trying to get attention, it's because we had this voice and this
Mhm.
deep passionate belief and purpose that we just didn't want to keep quiet, because somebody needed to take a leadership role in it, and we took that upon ourselves to do that. So there are a lot of people now in the space who are taking leadership roles. We're
Okay.
very active in the Performance Marketing Association, which is taking a leadership role in North America, to sort of shape the future of the performance marketing world, alongside some industry partners who are trying to do the same thing. So it is a big collaboration, but somebody had to step up and sort of
Mhm.
say things sometimes that people didn't understand or didn't want to talk about, and we were okay doing that. So
Mhm. Okay, that's a very interesting thing, because one of the things that I always tell people is that you can always position yourself as the leader in any industry. It's just a matter of deciding to give back to the community and adding more value to what already exists, and do your best to give more value and share information that is useful uh, to your target market, to your industry with people. And that's great. I'm glad to hear about your success as well. Now,
thank you.
let's put a focus on how you build your business solely based on relationships. Because I know that you didn't spend a lot of money on advertisement. You didn't spend a lot of money on like weird marketing campaigns and things like that. You just like built relationship, and with building relationships, you built the entire company. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also I want to ask you another question as well, because one of the things that you do is getting people to refer clients to your clients, right? So we're going to talk about that. So how people can get others to refer clients to them.
Mm-hmm.
But before going to that, or maybe you can combine these questions with each other. So how to build a business based on relationship, and how to use the referral systems to get more referrals to our businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting because this whole company has been completely self-funded. When I started by myself, it was just literally me doing everything from account management to sales and marketing, for lack of a better term, to, uh, well, everything. My husband, very fortunately for me, has a finance and operations background. So about 15 months into running the company, we got to a point where we actually made a choice. We said, we've got a little baby now at home. We'll, probably have another little baby, which we did. And the company is doing well enough that we have the option for him to leave his finance and operations career to come and join All Inclusive Marketing as the finance and operations person, sort of running the engine behind the scenes. And he could enjoy working from home and enjoy time with our kids too. And it was a really big risk at the time, and we took it. And so, fortunately for us, it's paid off. That said, everything was, in this moment of this is make or break. It's either going to work or it's not. And having it not work was not an option, because we had our kids, and this was everything for them. So, made everything run in the background. I made everything run in the foreground, helping clients, pushing forward sales, strategy, all those different types of things. And what I found to be the most essential part of our business from day one was absolutely how we treated people. It's always been very core to who we are. To my husband is Ian. You can look on our site. It's Ian Bundy. It's always been very core to who we are. It's how we treat people. It's finding an alignment between the values and philosophies that you have and the values and philosophies of the people that you choose to work with. So, in when you speak with our team and when you speak with our clients, a lot of people use the term family. We treat people like family. And so I think that's a piece that tends to be missing a
Mhm.
lot from business today. I think a lot of people sort of stick to numbers. They stick to hitting unit sales and things like that. And frankly, that's never been a forefront for me, at least within our own business. It's been more about, helping them feel that they've had a successful experience with us because we've added value, because we've showcased that value. So whether that's a client or a person who's actually working with us, employed here, or a strategic partner, that's the experience they've gotten working with us. And I think people really, really value and appreciate that. You know, as an example, there's a really lovely lady in Vancouver who is the CEO of the Century Plaza Hotel on Burrard, and she's the founder of the Absolute Spa Group here. And you know, I went to a show where it was a conference where she was speaking, and after the show, I went up to her because I was interested in her as an individual. I was interested in some of the philanthropy pieces she was talking about. And she ended up inviting me later on to a very exclusive and private dinner, which was probably about 8 people, which included the longest standing police commissioner in Vancouver's history, his wife, a journalist, a doctor, herself, a couple of founders of really successful companies, to have dinner to talk about you know, the Autistic Society, the Autistic Family Center that she's building right now with her husband in Richmond in BC. And, you know, why did I go? Because I was really interested in how I could support her. And that was it. I was just really kind of interested in who she was. As a result, suddenly, you know, I've got a lot of people kind of banging down my door because they had heard of me from this meeting because I had said something about digital marketing at the time and how that might help their business grow. I wasn't trying to close them as clients. I wasn't trying to do anything but offer some kind of feedback back, right? Some kind of value back. And there was a genuine personal interest there. So I think for anybody who's listening right now, what does this mean to you guys? If you were to even just start with making a list to say, okay, here's the service that I provide, or here's the product that I sell. Now, who are all of the different players in the space that are complementary, non-competing vendors, potentially even competitors, but even competitors, this one is interesting to me because in my space, you know, my competitors, there's just not enough, there's not enough bandwidth from a management perspective. And the competitors, quote unquote, we refer each other business, we collaborate. Like I phone one of my main competitors up and I ask him, you know, I'm in this kind of situation and I'm not really sure which direction to go. What would you do? And he'll answer me very honestly, here's what I would do. And so I'm able to make better decisions because, you know, I can sort of take calculated risks and I don't mind being vulnerable at times to showcase that, or just to be able to make better decisions because the intention is good. So yeah, I mean, building relationships is huge. We have something, one of the things that we changed in the last 6 months or 5 months, which has actually made a really significant difference to us, is we hired a business coach. And our business coach is John Nimberg. He's in Vancouver. You actually know him, Iman. He actually we found out about him because he spoke at one of your conferences. And our business development manager, who's with our company now, she saw him speak. And so, you know, we went to go meet him and everything. And one of the things, he's got 2 things that have provided a really essential new kind of core to how we run our business. And one of them is called a Net Promoter Score, NPS. Net Promoter Score. And what this means, it's a system that actually Apple and Amazon and all these different companies use to sort of assess the value and the experience of their customers with them on a month-to-month basis. So every single month, I actually email our entire client list and I ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very poor and 10 being exceptional, how was your experience with us last month? And if you get, you know, a 9 or 10 out of 10, you know that you're doing a fabulous job. Client is really happy and ecstatic. You have no cause for concern. If you're getting, say, like a 7 or 8, they're like, meh, it's okay. You know, there's obviously room for growth. There's something that you're not doing to wow them. So it gives you an opportunity to, you know, find out how to make it a 10. And if they are, you know, a 6 or less, then it's a really early warning sign that there could be some issues going on in the company. So it gives you an opportunity to address those and fix those quickly before you either lose a client or it snowballs into something bigger. So that process has been implemented for the last 5 months and it's made a huge difference. We're consistently getting nines and 10s out of 10s. So we're very pleased about that. The areas where we're not getting 9s and 10s out of 10s because it's slightly less just allows us room for growth and to do a better job the next month where it does become a 9 or 10 out of 10. So that's been very valuable, and I do encourage people who are listening to sort of implement that. And Mazlan says he loves John, he's amazing, and I agree. Thanks for the comment. So that's been very valuable. The other thing that he introduced me to, which is something that we actually did, we've been doing anyway, but this sort of actually puts like a tangible piece to it, is what we call our critical non-essentials. And what these are basically what are all the extra things that you can do that are totally non-essential to you running a company, but are absolutely critical to make you stand out and absolutely critical to make the experience with your customers and your partners and your team that much better. So, we have little reward programs around people who can get the highest net promoter scores consistently, or put forward the most innovative critical non-essentials, or things like that, because for us, it is about the experience. So that's the first part of the question, I believe. What was the second question again, Iman? Sorry.
The second part was that how to create a system that people refer clients to us on a regular basis, and they use partnerships. You're in the business of of allowing people to refer clients to each other. So uh, maybe you can look at it from two ways. How to create a system that people can refer clients to you, and the other way of looking at it is that how to find good people to refer clients to you. So from how to find a good affiliate and how to set up a good affiliate system for our business.
Okay. So I will answer that question. No me to answer your question. It's John Neunenberg. There you go, from w5coaching.com. He's great. Okay, so affiliate program, there are a couple ways. To set up an affiliate program, there's basically a manual way to do it, or sort of a systemized way to do it. There are what you would look up as affiliate networks, or you can use an internal tracking platform. And what it does is it helps you create a referral program where you would pay based on an authentic lead being generated for your business. So let's say you're a financial advisor or a real estate agent or something like that, or you sell dental plans, or you sell pet insurance, or whatever, right? You need leads. Now, if we're talking B2B right now, affiliate marketing would work for lead type programs. If you are talking about B2C, you can still do that. It would be based on a rev share or a flat payout. You can do that again through affiliate networks. So, depending on there's commission junction, link share, share a sale. We do a lot of work with share a sale. We like share a sale. Affiliate window is another great affiliate network. If it's B2B, you'd be looking more at CPA networks. And again, I'm really sorry, that's actually not an area that I'm very strong in. B2B affiliate marketing is not as much a strength of ours because we focus so much on retail and B2C. But you can use tracking platforms and you pay out on leads. Manually, this is an option for you. I mean, we built our entire company based on relationships, not based on paid referrals. I think in all of the business that's been sent our way, it's been because just people like us and they believe in what we provide, and they believe in the values that we have, and they believe that we have the experts and the quality assurance that people are just going to get the results they need, and that to them adds a lot of value to their relationships anyway. If they can make a recommendation to somebody who can add value to somebody that they're referring. So that makes them look good anyway. They feel good about that. Everybody feels good about that. So I've never really had to pay out for referrals on stuff, but you can do that sort of privately too. So you can have almost like a handshake agreement on, if you send me business and I close something that's valued at X amount of dollars, then I'm going to give you a referral fee of $150, $500, $3,000, whatever it is. So more recently, we have sent out sort of thank you checks. We haven't really had an affiliate program internally ourselves, but we have definitely gotten referrals from people where we've sent them something to just say thanks. We really appreciate it. And they've sent more business our way as a result. So yeah, I think it's just really aligning yourself with people who have sort of a similar vision, similar values, similar philosophies, really understanding them, really understanding how you can help them grow their businesses, and how you can sort of become an extension to their team. As an example, there's a company in Seattle called hasoffers.com. They're a tracking platform for mobile technology as well as affiliate programs. And because they're a tracking technology, they don't offer in-house affiliate management. people can sign up to manage their affiliate programs with their technology, but they don't offer the people the expertise to actually manage the programs for them. So, we have clients that are looking for the tracking platforms. They don't provide the affiliate management services. It's a good fit. We're missing each other's sort of services. It's complementary, non-competing. So, I drive down to Seattle. I have a meeting with them. We have a conversation for an hour about what do you guys need? What are you struggling with? How can we help you? And it becomes about them. It's not about us. I'm not going down there to have a sales pitch about us. I'm going down there to figure out how can we make them have an easier life, be more successful because we have a solution that they're looking for. So that's how you can build these relationships, is really focusing on, what value can we add that you're currently not receiving right now from somebody else? We've been able to successfully do that across the board for a lot of different players. So that's one of the reasons why we grew so fast in the last 2 years.
Okay. 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 Now, I just want to tell the audience, if you want to ask questions, you can use the chat box down below our pictures here, our video. So you can use the chat box to ask your questions from Sarah as well. And by the way, but at the end of this interview, I'm going to, Sarah shortly just talked about an event that Julia, Sarah's assistant, saw John Nuremberg in my event, and that event is called Marketing Mastery Summit. It's a 2-day event about marketing, and at the end of this call, I'm going to give every single person who is on this call a free ticket to join us at Marketing Mastery Summit. So Marketing Mastery Summit is a $300 event, and at the end of this call, I'm going to give you a promo code that you can go to our website and register a free ticket for yourself to attend the next Marketing Mastery Summit on November 16th and 17th. Okay. Now let's go back again to Sarah. Now, Sarah, what would you when we were talking? So one of the things you like to share with people is that what would you do differently to get to 7 figures even faster?
Yeah, so considering we started our business in 2009, and we're basically on target to hitting 7 figures in the next couple of months, there's a few things definitely that we would have done differently. One is as a business owner, I would have focused a lot more attention on building a stronger foundation sooner. I would have invested in processes and systems that we basically survived a long time without. To the point where when we hit a growth curve, we weren't really prepared for it. And that caused us a lot of pain. So, I think once I saw in the beginning, if I could have gone back, I would have, noticed a growth opportunity sooner and just put my foot down and said, okay, let's invest and spend some time, even if it's like 3 months or 6 months, spend the time and build out a system for, hiring, a system for bringing on new clients, a system for training, a system for managing accounts, a system for all these different things, and implementing a system that not only as a management team we could monitor metrics and KPIs from, like key performance indicators, and identify gaps and opportunities, but also that our team could manage so that they could actually go through and go check, 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 okay, I've done that. Now what else do I need to do that's specific to my clients? So that way, there wasn't anything that was dropping. So, it took us some time to figure that out. And it was a little bit painful when we were trying to do it in back steps. So that's a piece that I would recommend to people. If you're going to be building a business that you do see as being a 7-figure business, or even, a 6-figure business, have your systems and your processes in place and invest in it. It is absolutely worth the investment. 2 is, early on, we were hiring cheap people instead of the right people. So, over the last couple of years, where we've noticed our biggest growth curve, it was because we actually hired the right people. We just sort of were like, we bit the bullet. We're like, fine, we're going to give up our salaries or whatever we need to do in order to get absolutely the people who are the right fit, for the match of our philosophies, our vision, our skill sets that we need, the leadership skills that we need, the technical skills that we need, whatever it was. And if we had invested in those people a lot sooner, then we would have, become a seven-figure company a lot sooner as well.
Mhm.
So, but that again is a risk, and not everybody's able to give up their salaries in order to do that. So, when you're self-funding and you're growing by yourself, it's sometimes hard to take that chance. When you've got a family to feed or it's one income family, it's challenging. So again, in our case, we were just lucky that Ian's a financial he's a financial advisor before, and he was able to just very carefully manage our money for a little bit of time until we could get out of a really tight cash flow sort of situation, so that we could see a little bit more and invest. We've always invested back into our company. We've always invested in systems. We've always invested in the right people once we made these changes and realized this is actually where we should be spending our focus. So that's different. I also would have spent more time training. Um, I think we would have introduced a mentorship program a
Mhm.
little bit sooner, and a training program a little bit sooner. Again, just for quality assurance. Again, for having the entire team be on sort of the same page. Because we work remotely in a lot of cases, like our team is sort of spread out. We've got our CMO works out of Chicago. We've got our director of e-commerce who works out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One of our heads of social media works out of London, England. We've got a bunch of account managers and our technicians that work out of California. Everybody else is in the Vancouver area. And the reason we did that is so that we could get the best people in the industry working with us, which has been wonderful and very beneficial. But at the same time, without consistent communications, it's also caused some challenges historically. So over the last few months, again, we've had consistent team meetings, consistent one-on-ones. We have implemented systems where people can share their projects, share content, share questions, brainstorm. So that's made a huge difference, and I absolutely would have introduced that sooner too. So it's kind of a bit of a learning curve. And then obviously, I would have hired a business coach sooner. So we've got John. I'm sure there's lots of good business coaches out there in the world
Mhm.
who might be local to you, wherever you guys are based. But it's been interesting with John because he's definitely provided some insight of things that we might not have thought of. He's very experienced. He's spent most of his life in operation running large multi-billion-dollar companies. Um, and so it's been amazing to have his level of expertise in house here. But I think the biggest value that has come from having a business coach is just as a business owner, as a CEO, there's not really anybody else that I need to be accountable to aside from my team, but to go to ask questions, and someone slapped me in the wrist to be like, why didn't you finish that? I've got this person now who, I can work with on a week-to-week basis to feel accountable to say, is this the right direction in your opinion that I should be taking? Are these the right questions that I should be asking my team? When you've got so many priorities, in his words, which is so true,
Mhm.
is when you've got that many priorities, you actually don't have any priorities. So just helping you figure out actually what your priorities are. So you're able to sort of systematically work through things and make the progress you need to make the best decisions so that you can be more profitable faster.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's one of the most important things about running a business, and especially when you want to grow your business, is just putting systems together. And well, the challenge comes when you are kind of dealing with cash flow. You are having a cash flow problem, so you got to do some stuff like out of urgency. You just got to do them because you have to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, you are trying to create the system. And I agree with you. It's the hardest thing. One of the hardest things at the beginning of a business is to hire the right people, which most of the right people want a lot of money. And then while you don't have the cash flow to support that, a lot of money to pay. But now here is one thing that I always say: instead of being penalty focused in your life, try to be a reward focus. So instead of thinking about what's the cost of hiring this person, think about what's the reward of hiring person. So if you're hiring a salesperson and the person is going to charge, like the person's salary is $60,000 plus bonuses, right? Which kind of ends up around like six-figure salary. Um, well, if you think about, oh, that's like $100,000 pay out of my pocket every single year, or how can I like pay that person $8,500 per month? Instead of thinking about it that way, you can think about, okay, if I bring this person in the mix, then can I get 400,000, 500,000, $1 million sales from this salesperson? If this person can bring new ideas to my business, can that person take my business to the next level? So if you think that way, instead of thinking about that this is the cost of having this employee in your company, the way you look at it is that this is my investment.
Mhm.
And every investment has a return. Now I tell you when it turns into cost. It turns into cost if you hire a person that you are paying minimum wage and you're expecting them to bring $40,000 sales and they fail to bring that $40,000 sales. So what happens is you really end up paying $2,000 per month to a person who doesn't bring anything. And that's the cost. So are you going to be a penalty focused person which always receives the cost? Or are you going to be a reward focused person who looks at everything as an investment and all investments have return? There is always risk that come with investment, but which one you are going after? Are you after a penalty or are you after the reward? So wherever you put your focus, you get that, right? You focus on good things, you get the good things. You focus on the bad things, well, guess what you receive? You receive the things that you don't want, right? So that was great. Um, Sarah, in the middle of when you were speaking, you said Michelle asked if you sell events as well. So if any person is doing events, or in your company, do you do events? And if any person is doing events, do you help them with finding affiliates for their events?
Currently, we are working. Actually, one of our clients is Content Marketing World. So they are a conference. They're an event, and yes, they have an affiliate program with us. What I would suggest, if your event is very geographically focused and has a limited quantity, say like under 300 attendees, um, a, a, hiring an affiliate management team to do something like that is probably not going to be financially worthwhile for you. If you're running a conference or an event that has unlimited attendees, or over 1,000, then yeah, there probably would be. Um, so it's an interesting conversation to have. For yourself, if you're do we do conferences?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done an AIM branded one yet, but that is in our agenda for 2014. So I would encourage you to sign up on our blog or on our website so that you can get notice once that happens. So yes, we will. And also, I speak at a lot of different shows internationally. So I speak in Vancouver, I speak in Vegas, I speak in New York, I speak in London, England, I speak in San Francisco. Like, I'm around at all the digital marketing shows. So you can take a look at my blog, sarahbundy.com. You can take a look at our site, allinclusivemarketing.com. We have a blog there. We're going to be adding a page of where we're speaking. Our CMO, Carolyn Kmet's going to be speaking at the Internet Retailer Show, which is a huge deal because it's the largest internet retailer show in North America. So she'll be speaking there this year. So that's really great. So you'll be able to find us around. But if the question is, how do you promote your own show with an affiliate program, it's going to depend on the size and geographically who you're targeting. Yeah, there's ways that people do it with affiliate marketing.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we'll learn a lot about that at Marketing Mastery Summit. That's one of the things that I'm that we talk a lot at Marketing Mastery Summit. Not necessarily how to promote events, but how to put yourself as to become the person of influence. And then, if you are the person of influence, everybody wants to attend your events anyhow. So that's one of the things we will talk about it at Marketing Mastery Summit. So, Sarah. Um, can you tell us about the failures? Okay, that's one of the things that I ask people on Extreme Business Builders. Like, yeah, like everybody wants to talk about the success stories, and yes, we are successful. Yes, we are doing that. Yes, we are doing that. Okay, that's great, right? All the successes are great. What about failures? Like, I've rarely seen any person ask about your failure stories, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm asking successful people about their failure stories.
Hmm. I think it's an important question because in order to be successful, you have to make a lot of mistakes quickly. You have to learn from your mistakes quickly. And
Mhm.
so I've had so many failures that I actually can't list off. The good news is we've learned from most of them. I would say that my my biggest personal failure, to be very honest, was that I had a 5 day maternity leave when my daughter was born, and felt like I missed the first 6 months of her being alive because I didn't have those processes in place. I didn't have my systems in place. I didn't have the right people in place at the time. So I was scrambling to do everything myself, and lots of errors were being made, and then I still missed, you know, spending time with my baby. So that was my personal biggest failure. However, on the flip side, now we're a couple years in later, and I'm able to spend a ton of time with her, more than anybody else would have been able to if they were working in a corporate environment, or more in that startup phase. So I think people take risks, people struggle, people make mistakes. I think it's okay to make mistakes as long as you can learn from them. I think it's probably more beneficial to make more mistakes quickly in the beginning so that you don't have to make those mistakes later on. And at times, I think it's okay to be vulnerable as well. I mean, I have multiple occasions that I've actually phoned people, or Skyped people in my industry to say, look, like, I actually don't know how to do this. Can you just walk me through it? And I know it's such a stupid question, and I feel like an idiot asking it, so I'm so sorry, but can you just like help me out? Because I just don't, I need to learn this. And I think what I have found is that people are actually very kind for the most part. I've maybe in one or two instances, people have been like, no, I don't have time for you. In most cases, people will be like, yeah, absolutely. Let's either book a time or let me help you right now. And so being okay with being vulnerable at times to say, I need help because I don't know how to do
Mhm.
this, is all right.
Okay. Okay, that's
You're
perfect.
welcome.
Actually, one of the and thanks for sharing, or really thanks for sharing. Right?
Yeah,
One of the
you're very welcome.
like one of the things that one time one person asked me, right? People ask me like, what's the like what causes your success? Like why are you successful? And I said, well, when I fail to fail, people call it success. But what I do every day is failing. Just every day I try something new, and most of the times it fails. And then once in a while, maybe 5% of the times, I fail to fail, and that failure of failing, people call it success. And for me, it's just the next thing. And you should just continue doing whatever you are doing, and then do it as best as you can. And that's great to hear that almost the same thing from you. And really, thank you for sharing that.
You're
Share your
welcome. It's my
personal
pleasure.
story with us as well. Okay, so um, is there anything, Sarah, that you want to share? I'm kind of leading this webinar to an end. So, is there any particular thing that you want to share that I haven't asked and you really wanted to talk about? I missed the question.
Yeah, I think for everyone who's listening, who's trying to grow your business, two things. One is, if you believe in what you do and you know that there's a market for what you do, there's a need for what you do, don't give up. Um, there were many days I felt like giving up. I was just either too exhausted or too broke, or like, is this even going to work? Like trying to juggle babies and business, and trying to, invest in people and systems that I didn't know for sure if it was going to pay off in the long term. And you know what? We just kept pushing through, kept pushing through, kept pushing through, because we did believe in what we were doing. So what's interesting is that most startups fail not because their business model wasn't right or their service wasn't right. It was just that the business owner gave up right when they were about to be successful. So I would just say, if you are in a place where you feel that there is value in what you provide, even if it's a hyper competitive market, because frankly, I'm in a hyper competitive market. If the value is there and you learn how to differentiate yourself and you can continue to push through and make better decisions and adjust and be fluid as you need to, then that's where you're going to see, the greatest long-term success. Technically, even though we've only been focused on building our business for the last 2 years, I've been self-employed since 2008. So I'm at 5 years, just over 5 years. And I could have given up a few times and I didn't. And I'm happy I didn't. It's absolutely paid itself off. So don't give up, is what I would say. Two is get involved in as many things as you can that are related to your industry. Right? So, brand yourself and your company. A lot of all-inclusive marketing was built on my personal brand in the beginning. People knew Sarah Bundy because of the contributions I was making to the industry, to the periodicals that I was writing. I was featured in magazines, on guest blogs, on radio shows, wherever I could be to build the Sarah Bundy brand, to showcase my level of expertise in a particular area, I was doing. And as people became aware of me, they were becoming aware of my company. And that allowed me to grow my team, which allowed us to build a brand of experts, not expert. So I think, if you're in a stage now where you can contribute to things, we contribute to about 20 different places between, Feedfront Magazine, all these different conferences, the Performance Marketing Association. We're on 2 different councils. We're on boards in our industry. Performance Marketing Insights is something that we can contribute to. Wherever, Huffington Post just asked us to write something. So wherever you can get exposure about your expertise, do that, and then continue to sort of send it out in social channels, continue to share that with your internal team, share that with your partners, share that with your clients. That will help. So that's definitely helped me anyway. And it's nice because now we're in a position where a lot of people from our team are able to go out and contribute. Ian, for example, he has a finance and operations background. He's going to be featured in Feedfront Magazine in January for the first time, and it's a performance marketing magazine. But he's able to share and leverage his financial background to help people understand how to budget and do sales projections better. And he's getting his name out there too, which again is going to help us build the brand. So it's part of our give back, but it's also part of being able to position yourself as an industry expert. There's a lot of opportunities like that out there, and people are always looking for really solid content. So if you can provide that solid content, just go for it. Looks like Nomi has a question about
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Sarah, for all the information. That was great, awesome to have you on the call, and I'm sure people got like our audience got a lot of value from your recommendations and from everything that you have done. I really admire the way that you built your business, and whenever I speak with you, it's very encouraging for me as well. To learn more about the interesting things that you do behind the scenes and the things that you have to deal with, and it's great. It's great to see you, and it's great to see that you really bring a lot of value to the market, and that's the way that you positioned yourself as the go-to expert in your field, and that's great. Now, for our audience on the webinar, I promised you that at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give every single one of you a free ticket to attend the next Marketing Mastery Summit. And the Marketing Mastery Summit is focused on teaching you how to position yourself as the go-to expert, with sharing your information with the right target market. And the way that it works is that in the first morning, we talk about you, your niche market, and your message, and how to work with and who to work with. In the afternoon, we talked about systems. We talked a lot about systems in the afternoon of the first day. In the second day, we talk about how to get people to refer clients to you on a regular basis in the morning. And in the afternoon of second day, we will talk about automation and how to how to create your system and then make it automated in your business. Now, the website for Marketing Mastery Summit is www.marketingmasterysummit.com. And if you go there, well, you have to buy the ticket for $300 unless you use this code. And the code is SB Webinar, and it's the short for Sarah Bundy Webinar. Okay? So this is the code. And if you use this promotional code, that drops the price from $297 plus GST and taxes and other stuff to zero, so to free. And then you can sign up for Marketing Mastery Summit on November 16th and 17th, and join us at Marketing Mastery Summit. And Sarah, thank you very much. This is amazing to get so many positive feedback from our audience right now, and they're just keep writing and chatting, and that's amazing to have so many positive feedback on from people. And that's what happens, right? When you come out with integrity, with the truth, and with the with your heart out, and share the information, the truth about the business, and being with people and adding value to them. Really, people appreciate it, and I really appreciate that you took the time to spend this time with our audience at Extreme Business Builders, and it was amazing to have you on this call.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was great for me too. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So for our audience, if you like to use the chat room here, you can continue chatting with each other. I'm not going to close this software for another 15 minutes. So just feel free. Actually, last week something that interesting happened. People started referring clients to each other here, and it turned into a very good networking event. I totally remember, like in 1995 or 1998, we used to do chats a lot. So and this totally turned out to become like the same tool. I was looking at the chat, and then people were similar to like 15 years ago they were chatting. So if you feel free to chat here and talk with each other and get to know each other better. And I'm gonna stop. Sarah and I are gonna stop, but you can definitely have access to this information. By the way, the code SB Webinar will be active until tomorrow. So if you want to reserve your seat to Marketing Mastery Summit, you need to reserve your seat to Marketing Mastery Summit today. Or if you want to do it now, because I'm afraid if it sells out. So that's all. Sarah, any last words?
Just keep going, guys. I'm around if you want to talk. Feel free to tweet me or Skype me anytime. Good luck with all of your businesses.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Good luck, everyone. And next week, we are going to have Bob Burnham on writing how to write and publish your book. You will get the emails from me, probably 4 or 5 emails from now till then. Okay, thanks, Sarah. And thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.